Let's begin down in Shavasana. So as we open our palms to the sky, we also open our hearts and prepare for our practice today. As we want to focus in on just ourselves, kind of let all the outside noise be gone. We do this by allowing our body just to relax, allowing the physical relax, and remembering it's never really about the body, it's always about the mind. The mind controls the body. So right now, using our mind, I just focus in on our center, on our heart. We carry a lot of stress around our heart, right? And we want to allow that to fall back and go. Okay. So let's begin with our breathing. If you'd like to, put your hands on your belly because we're going to do deep belly breathing first. So we take the middle or index finger and put it right on the navel, and those little fingers reach down into the pelvic bowl. Okay. And we're going to take a long exhale. A releasing exhale to activate that parasympathetic nervous system. That's our rest and digest system. And now as we inhale, we want to inhale through the mouth. As we inhale slowly, that air goes down past the chest, deep into the belly. We want to push that belly out and fill up as if we had a balloon in the belly. And now when we exhale, we want to push that air out from the bottom, slowly as that travels up and releases in that big HA breathing. We're going to continue to breathe like that a couple of times. And if at the beginning you feel like you're kind of breathing against that, we want to try to breathe with that. Okay, so breathing with that means our exhale allows that stomach to hollow, that navel to go deep towards the spine, that rib cage to rise up. And as we inhale, we fill up. And when you get to that full point where you have that balloon in the belly, we want to pause just for a second. Take one more sip and now exhale completely. Just allow your body to go with your breathing. As we breathe in this manner, we might listen for a whisper within. We might use that switch off valve in the brain, allowing the past to be the past and the present to be taken care of later. Exhale. And now we're going to take our thumb and put your thumb right in the navel, and we're going to place our hand right in that pelvic bowl. So that's like in the pelvis bones, right there, and keep that area flat. Place the other hand right on top of there. You want to kind of hold that belly in tight so that the air doesn't go quite into the belly. So now we're going to breathe across the chest. So take a big exhale, and as you inhale, try to breathe across those lungs. So really blow into those lungs and exhale. Try that a couple more times on your own, still breathing slowly, in harmony with your body. This is the breathing that we'll use today because in many of our postures there isn't room for the belly breathing. Also, when we breathe in this way, it allows us to set the stage for engaging those core muscles. Today is a lot about strength in core muscles. As we begin, you should have your block close by. You can use it before we need it, especially for a posture. So we have it within arm's reach. Let's start by wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes and reaching those arms overhead and stretching. right arm and left arm, stretching through that spine, being aware of where the spine is right now. Then we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Feet should be next to each other, toe, toe, heel, heel. Go ahead and give yourself a big hug, wrapping your arms around your knees, just below the knees, and rocking side to side. Beginning to warm up that spine. And now let's come to the center and extend out, lengthen fingertips and toes. Really reach. Feel that spine. Take a big exhale. And now placing the hands on either side of the thigh, bring the knees up as if you were sitting in a chair that was reclining on the ground. Take your hands, put them right over the kneecaps, and we're going to do a couple of leg circles. So first we want to go clockwise, pulling those knees around, and then counterclockwise, just 6 or 8 in each direction. And come to the center and bring those knees close into the heart and extend out and lengthen. Exhale. Now as we place the hands on palms down on either side of the thigh, we want to bend that left knee to the sky and point that right toe to the sky. So we're going to release the feet. So go ahead and wiggle the toes and a couple of circles with the ankles. If we get a little popping here, that's okay. Make a couple of circles. Then take that right ankle and cross just above the knee, just above that left knee. Kind of push out that right inner thigh. Then we gently press into the mat as we lift up that left leg, flexing the left foot. And then we're going to roll up, placing the lower back into the mat so that we can see the thread through eye of the needle, interlocking fingers and thumbs and placing them right behind that left thigh. Go ahead then and roll down from the navel through the rib cage and the top of the head. We're going to give a little bit of a tug with our hands on the back of that left thigh. Take the right elbow and kind of open up that right inner thigh. Take an exhale here. And release the legs down, stretching again, fingertips to toes. Exhale. Again, placing the palms on either sides of the thighs. This time we want to bend that other knee towards the sky, and that left toe goes up. Go ahead and make a couple of circles there. Wiggle the toes. Just loosen up that ankle. Remember, as we walk on ice or in cold weather, oftentimes we don't move through our ankles when we walk. So we want to loosen that up. And go ahead, take that left ankle, cross over right above that right knee. Lift up that right leg so the shin parallels the mat. And then roll yourself up, placing the lower back into the mat. So we can thread through eye of the needle, interlock the fingers and the thumbs, and now roll down from the navel through the top of the head, pulling that rib cage into the mat. We're going to pull on the back of that right thigh while we flex that right foot. And that left elbow, use it to open up that left inner thigh. You should feel a stretch from the back of that left knee, down the back of that thigh to that left hip. You may even feel that stretch across to the right hip. This is piriformis stretch. Bring both legs out again, stretch one more time. Take a big exhale here. Release yourself into the stretch, into the lengthening. Bring the knees into your chest, wrapping the right arm around, left arm overhead. Rock over to the side, gently placing your ear into that left biceps. The right hand in front of you as you push yourself up sideways, protecting your spine into a seated position. Here we take a big stretch up. As we do, we just touch those thumbs and we lift that rib cage and heart to the sky. Lift our gaze to the sky. Take a big inhale as you exhale, cartwheel the arms down, bending the elbows. Hold on to those shoulders And some circles with the shoulders. During the week, we often lean forward, so we want to open our chest as we circle. And then give ourselves a big inhale, reach those arms out, and the right arm over the left. Here, we want to reach for those shoulder blades. And now drop the elbows towards the navel. As you drop the elbows towards the navel, we're going to feel a big stretch across the shoulders. Take an exhale. Open those arms one more time, and now it's left over right. Dropping the elbows, lifting the chin. Open that chest, exhale. Let's release now and come over on all fours facing front. I'm going to walk up kind of close to the front of the mat, a couple inches behind the front of the mat. We want to place our palm down flat, a little in front of the shoulder, the wrist a little in front, because this is kind of stressful. All right, so we want to place our hands down evenly. Take an exhale here in a neutral spine. So connect with your neutral spine, your own individual neutral spine. Go ahead and lift up the toes to the sky, right arch under left as we sit back. Sit back on the heels, walk those fingers forward, nose on the mat, pull the shoulder blades together in retraction. Exhale. And then gently push yourself up, open up those toes. And now it's left under right. Sit back. So we feel a tremendous stretch through the top of the feet, where we rarely stretch. Nose comes down as we pull the shoulder blades together. Pushing up on all fours again, we're going to open up those toes. This time we're going to turn those toes under. This is for any of us who have that tight arch or those tight fascia muscles. So really push through the feet. We begin starting to stretch through those arches. Now let's release the toes to the sky and the top of the feet go onto the mat. Here we want to reconnect with our breathing. Okay, so take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, pull that navel up. Let go of that air. Let it start to travel upwards and out. Tuck the tailbone under. The head goes under, looking at the navel, and we're in cat. As you inhale now, the navel comes down. Open up that chest. Breathe. Tailbone comes up. Head comes up. Close the mouth. Stretch through the neck. Eyeballs to the sky. Exhale into cat. And inhale into cow. Do that a couple of times on your own. As we breathe in that manner, again, our breath is in harmony with our body. During our practice, sometimes our breath becomes labored. We want to always remember to exhale and try to come to this harmonious place with our breathing and our body. Take that long last exhale into cat. As we release into that neutral spine. Now we want to wag the tail. So we're joining you with our hips as we wag the tail side to side. And go ahead and look at that tail, much like your dog would, right? Look at that tail as we wag side to side. And now our gaze is into the mat as we continue to wag side to side. And go ahead, let's wag over to the left. When we wag over to the left, that releases our right hip. To bring that right knee about a foot forward and slide back on the top of that left foot. Come down to your forearms, interlock your fingers and your thumbs. Go ahead and walk your elbows out a little wider. As you come down and rest the head on the hands, we can pull those shoulder blades together and release. This variation of pigeon pose stretches the sciatica, also rejuvenates the tired legs. Go ahead and push yourself up to all fours. We do this 3 times. If you want to do this at home, remember, do it 3 times and a couple of breaths as you rest your head on your hands. So wag that tail. This time wag over to the right, releasing that left hip. Left knee comes forward about a foot, slide back on the back of that. on the top of that right foot. Interlock the fingers, walk the elbows out, and release the head down. Exhale. Gently pushing up onto all fours again, wagging that tail. Wagging over this time to the left. The right knee comes up. Sliding back on the top of that left foot. Interlock the fingers. This time we rest the head on the hands and exhale. Pushing up on all fours again and rocking side to side. Rock over to the right. That left knee comes up about a foot. That right foot slides back. Come down to the forearms. Take an exhale as you release your forehead down into the mat, into your hands. Pushing up on all fours and going to that tail wag for this last cycle. As we wag over to the left, releasing that right hip, bring that right knee forward as we slide back on the left foot. Interlock the fingers and thumbs, walk the elbows out, release. Again, gently pushing up to all fours, wagging that tail. As we round this up, wag over to the right, release that left knee forward and slide back on the top of that right foot. Interlock the fingers. We should be a little deeper into this stretch now. Release, take a big exhale. Pull that navel in. Push up on all fours now. Come to your center and curl those feet, toes under so that the toes are facing your knees. And now push back and up into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, externally rotate your inner thighs. Take an exhale. Now we start to drop the heels. We feel that those tight hamstrings as we walk the feet in, right in between your hands. Go ahead and bend your knees then and support your hands right above the knees as we roll up against that invisible wall behind you, each vertebrae against that invisible wall. When the shoulders come against that wall, we want to lift up the chin, take a big exhale, turn the hands outward. Let's zip up the feet now, toe, toe, heel, heel, and calves together. Lift the toes to the sky and flatten them onto the mat. Feel a balance here in Tadasana. During our practice today, we'll come into Tadasana a few times, and each time we want to try to pause for a minute. Remember, take your exhale and feel your balance. Our sun salutation now, warming up the muscles of the body together, warming up our body, and preparing for our asana. Take a big exhale here. Push that navel in. As you inhale, reach up into high mountain. As you exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, head and tailbone come up, hands on the shin, monkey pose, eyeballs to the sky. Hands come down on either side of the feet. Bring that left foot all the way back to the back of your mat. Push through that left foot. Bring that left hip forward, right hip back. And now coming up into balance, finding a balance here. As we sink down, we reach up. High lunge. Go ahead and come back into downward dog. Left foot comes forward. Again, push through that right foot for power. Right hip forward, left hip back now. Coming up to balance. Even if you're struggling with the balance, find it, sink and lift. Back into down dog. Walk the feet in. This time we zip them up. Bend the knees. Reach forward. Big inhale into chair. High mountain. Arms are down. Tadasana, breathe. We'll do it 2 more times. Trying to connect the movements with the breath. Take a big inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Monkey pose. Left leg comes back and lunge. And this is a regression. If you want to lunge here, that's fine. Just find your balance. Down dog. Left foot comes forward again. Find the balance here. It's an option, always good. Down dog. Walk the feet in. Zip up. Bend the knees, reach forward. Chair to high mountain, arms come down, Tadasana. Take a big exhale, and this last one, really try to find your own harmony with your breathing as you do it on your own. Take a big inhale up into high mountain, and arms come down. Taking a big breath in Tadasana. Find that center balance. Imagine a line from the ankles to the navel, the top of the head, passing through the nose. Go ahead and lift up the toes and plant your feet into the mat, into the earth. Take a big inhale and reach up, interlocking all fingers, releasing that index finger, crossing the thumbs. If you can, block out the elbows and squeeze the head. Reach the heart forward, but drop the shoulders back. Take a big inhale, lift the rib cage. As you exhale, crescent over to the right. Inhale, stretch up, painting the ceiling, and crescent to the left. Inhale, as you crescent side to side, we lift up more and more. We plant the feet more and more. Our gaze is upward, lengthening that spine. Allowing yourself to release any left stress in your body. And we come to the center now. Open up those hands with strength. Drop the shoulders down. Externally rotate those triceps. Squeeze the legs together. This is MU pose. It's the strongest, largest bird in the world. So be strong. Pull that navel in consistently to support that back. As we come forward, exhale. Again, pull that navel in. Come to that upside down L. And now, chest on the knees. Hands either behind the calves or on the mat behind you. And if you can, your nose under your kneecaps. Try to straighten your legs. From the side, there should be no space in between your quadriceps and your rib cage. As you try to straighten the legs, squeeze that legs towards each other. Take a big inhale. Push that navel in immediately as we reach forward. And come up in MU. High mountain. Arms are down. Tadasana. Take an exhale. We go into our balance section. So now we're still fighting for balance here. So all work is good here. Take the right foot and come over, feet are in 11. Even if you're struggling for balance, your balance muscles are waking up. Right? Zip up the fingers and thumbs, roll the shoulders back. Good. Take a big inhale now across the chest. As you exhale, we reach forward and now sink back into the heels and lengthen those toes on the mat. Pull the navel in, rib cage up, tailbone out, chest up. Push into the mat. Legs are straight now, locked out, up to the tiptoes. Now the knees come forward, shoulders and hips stay against that wall behind you. Keep reaching forward, but the shoulders stay back. Come down so it's a little uncomfortable. And now we want to lift up the kneecaps to the sky. Find a balance and come down into Tadasana. You do this 3 more times for strength. This time, that left foot comes over, hands come up, zip. Roll the shoulders back. Make sure you tuck those thumbs in. Take a big inhale now. As you exhale, reach forward, sit back. Flatten those toes. Navel in. Breathe across the chest. As you push into the mat, come up to the tiptoes. This time, as you come down, kneecaps come up. So you use that entire leg. Knees should be coming over that second toe. Come down so that you're holding a box from the fingertips to the knees. Push into the mat and come together, Tadasana. Take an exhale. Maybe your heart rate comes up, the body gets a lot warmer. Bring that right foot over, feet are in 11. Zip up the fingers, roll the shoulders back. Take a big inhale. This time, sit back and reach forward. Open that chest and drop the shoulders. Good. Pull the navel in, tailbone out, rib cage up. Now push into the mat, like you're imprinting your feet into the mat. Come up to a standing position. From here, we come up to the tiptoes, shoulders and hips against that invisible wall behind you. Now as we come down, make sure you bend in the hips, Keep pushing the shoulders back. This is the hard part. Lift up. Nice, Jennifer. Nice, Jennifer. Nice, Connie. Wow. Push into the mat. Nice balance. And bring the feet together. Last time. Feet come to an 11. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. Zip up the fingers, zip up the thumbs. Roll the shoulders back. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, sit back and reach forward. So if you want to focus on a point in front of you, that will help you. Pull the navel in, rib cage up, tailbone out. Feel that pull as you push up into standing and tiptoes. Now the knees come forward, sit back. Again, fight for your balance here. Notice the strength that you've accomplished as you've been doing this through our sessions. Nice, strong core. Pull the navel in. Push into the mat. Come back up into Tadasana. Beautiful. Okay. Let's do our single-legged balance. We'll do dancer first, and then we'll do standing bow. Both have kind of the same balance in that rectangle. So let's take a big inhale. Lift that right palm to the sky. Zip up the fingers and the thumbs. We want a right angle here. As we come out to the side, we start to activate that rotator cuff. Drop the hand down. This arm comes up and we drop that shoulder down so that we have our rectangle. And now, shift the weight into that left foot. Bring that right foot right back behind you. We want to point that toe as hard as you can. Go ahead and lift up as we come forward. So now that left arm comes forward. That right arm comes back. Find your balance. Hold. Exhale. Beautiful. Come back to Tadasana. Nice, everyone. Left hand up now. Zip up the fingers and thumbs. Hand to the side and down. Make sure this palm is turned outward so that rotator cuff stays involved. Drop that elbow down. Shift the weight into the right foot. Flatten the toes. That left foot comes back. Whether we're in dancer or standing pose, that left toe pointing back will help our balance and straighten that back leg. As you come forward, we open that hip to the side in dancer. Good. Hand should be in line with the forehead. Beautiful. Palm down. Just come back to Tadasana. And now let's try standing bow. Right hand. Zip up the fingers and thumbs, come out to the side. Drop that hand down, this arm up for balance and drop. Now, go ahead and shift the weight to the left foot. We want to grab on the inside of that right ankle. Immediately point that back toe. Find your balance here first. This is where the posture begins. So find this balance first. Now push that foot against that hand in the back as you reach forward into standing bow. Keep on pushing that foot against the hand. Pull, hold, exhale, let that foot float overhead, and come back to Tadasana. Nice. Warm in here, right? Left hand, open to the sky. Zip up the fingers, come out to the side and drop that hand. Find your balance here. Shift the weight into the right foot. On the inside of that left ankle. And now, if you're wobbling here, find the balance first, then lift up and pull forward into standing bow. That pulling between the foot and the hand is what keeps that bow wanting to last forever. Beautiful, Jennifer. Nice, everyone. Come on down to Tadasana. We're going to take a swan dive forward as we begin our asana. We're going to start in seated child's pose. In seated child's pose, feet are about 6 inches apart. And wrap your arms around. We're going to push that lower back forward. And we're just going to pause here for 2 breaths. As we begin to bring our breathing back in harmony with our body throughout this asana. And exhale. I'd walk those feet up just a little bit. Take the hands and put them right on the back, right above the knee, and we're going to roll down vertebrae at a time onto your mat. You can support yourself by using your fingers or let those core muscles help you out here. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Feet should be together, toe, toe, heel, heel. Wrap those arms around, hugging. If you can, reach for the elbows and form that tight package. Now as we pull on those knees close into the chest, we want to also lengthen that tailbone downward. Looking up to the sky, trying to place that neck into the mat. Take a big exhale, and now as we rock side to side, we want to take 4 long breaths, connecting each breath, and then connecting your breathing in harmony with your body the entire time, pulling your tailbone towards me as you rock side to side. Let's come to the center now. Take that last exhale. Pull that tailbone down, and now our feet come to the floor, knees to the sky. Lift your hands up in prayer, pointing the fingers towards the sky. Roll the shoulders down and into the mat. Turn the palms outward, and the palms go across from your shoulders into the mat. Go ahead and walk the fingers out and stretch across that upper back. Walk the knees towards each other. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to bring both legs over to the right. As you do that, spine will twist, your shoulders remaining on the mat. Those shoulder blades into the mat. And we start our 4 breaths here. Keep those palms spread, keep pushing into the mat. Allow that spine to twist and relax. 4 deep breaths, those 4 big exhalations. Keep pushing those shoulder blades into the mat. Take that long last exhale, pushing that navel to the spine, and bring your knees up towards the sky. As you inhale, squeeze the legs together, and now bringing both legs over to the left. Again, twisting of that spine, leaving the shoulders on the mat, palms are down. Again, we want 4 breaths here. Your gaze should be up towards the sky. Palms spread, shoulders open. Connecting your breaths to each other. And then you're breathing in harmony with your body. That long last exhale, pull that navel in so we can empty all that air. Bring those knees up towards the sky. Walk the feet a couple inches apart from each other. And now we're going to take our hands and wrap them on the back of the upper thighs as you look up at that navel. As we roll up here, you can use your hands to assist you or use those abdominal muscles back up to seated child's pose. 2 breaths here to pause. Walk the feet towards each other. Bring the knees to one side, and now over on all 4s, facing front. Here's where we again get in touch with that neutral spine. This time, as we exhale, we want to pull that navel towards the spine and pull that rib cage towards the navel. We should feel a big strength, almost like a strap, around the rib cage, around that belly, those strong core muscles. Now as we start to warm it up for our practice, we take a big exhale. As you inhale, we're going to reach out, that right arm turning the palm inward, and that left leg. Point the left toe and drop that left hip in line with that right hip. As you exhale, the elbow comes into the knee, rounding slightly. As you inhale, reach out. We do this 5 times. You exhale in and inhale, reach. Reach longer each time. Try to keep your balance in the center. Just a slight rounding. And we come back to all fours. Take a big exhale here. As you inhale, pull that navel and support that back. Reach that left arm out, palm turns inward, that right toe pointing. As you exhale, elbow to knee, and reach out and inhale. And as you do this, keep pulling that navel in, that navel support. As we transverse that spine, we wake up all sorts of pathways in our body. Come back to all fours. Take an exhale. Now return those toes under again, pushing through the arches. Take a big inhale here and push up into downward facing dog. Externally rotate your inner thighs. 2 breaths here. As you inhale, let's walk those feet in, zipping up the legs. And from here, our first balance, as we roll up vertebrae at a time, trying to find that center line as we come up into Tadasana. Take a moment here and take 2 breaths, pulling that navel in, finding your standing balance. Each time we find balance, the breath comes with our body, with our actions. We just tap on that piece. Completely exhale, pull that navel towards the back and that rib cage towards the navel. Reach those arms up into high mountain. Take a big inhale. As you exhale now, that left leg comes back into warrior 2. Let's establish a strong warrior 2. Walk the front foot forward. That back foot perpendicular to the front foot. Straighten the back leg. And now, as you bend forward, tracking that knee with the baby toe, we want to pull our shoulders back over the hips. Keep reaching the arms outward, shoulders over the hips. Make sure you straighten that back leg. Turn that hip under. And now, slowly turning to look over the right second finger. As you reach, we want 4 breaths here. Pulling the shoulders back. Feel the strength in warrior 2. Now, we open up and rotate that heart to the sky. Continue with those 4 breaths. Keeping that rib cage engaged. Pulling that navel in each time. Keep a strong triangle by locking out both legs. Allowing that breath to flow. Take a long last exhale. As you inhale, we're going to get aggressive now as we come forward into lizard. In our lizard posture, that front ankle and knee are one straight line. Go ahead and push back through that back foot. And now we bend the elbows, or you could use your block underneath your hands. Pull that navel in, head supported by the spine. Continue your 4 breaths. Your gaze about 8 inches in front of your mat. Each time you exhale, that navel goes towards the back, That back hip comes down. After that last long exhale, push into the mat. Bring that front foot back and you come down into forearm plank. Interlock the fingers. Push through the feet, parallel your body with the mat. Go ahead and drive those elbows back. I may not see movement from here. Continue with your breaths. We want 6 breaths here so we can engage those core muscles. Again, instead of releasing the head in dead weight, lift that head forward, your gaze a couple inches in front of your mat. Keep breathing, keep exhaling. Our regression would be to bring the knees down. So if you feel your hips starting to come up, bring those knees down so we have a plank from the knees to the shoulders. As we continue to breathe, feeling those core muscles really engage. Take a big exhale now. Hold that navel in. Take one more breath and exhale. Bring the knees down. Push up into all fours, keeping those toes curled under so that you can push up into downward dog. Take an exhale here. And one more breath. Externally rotate your inner thighs. And now let's walk in, bringing those feet in between the hands. Zip up the legs, use your leg strength. As we roll up vertebrae at a time, again, trying to find that center line and that balance into Tadasana. Take a big exhale. Inhale here and reach those arms up into high mountain. Take a big exhale. This time that right leg comes back into warrior 2. Again, walk it out and find a strong warrior 2. Shoulders over hips. Keep rotating that chest to the side. Try to come down to a 90-degree bend. If you feel stress in that knee, then we need to move our weight back over the hips, straighten the back leg, pull the arms out. You should feel in warrior 2 that we could hold this posture forever. Reach the fingers out and now look over those front fingers. Take a big exhale. Pull that navel in. That navel and back support. Breathe in harmony with your body. Use that strong breath for strength, for focus. Take a big inhale now, straighten both legs. You might have to walk this back leg in a little bit for our triangle, and now cartwheel over. Here is where, if you have a block, you can use a block here to keep that rib cage up. Go ahead and reach up towards the sky. Now, rotate that heart to the sky as you look up. Trying to line up your nose with that right thumb. Straighten both legs. Pull the arm down and up. Exhale. You want 4 strong breaths here, each time pulling that navel in and emptying. Take that big inhale for that strong lizard as we come forward into lizard. Hands on the inside of that right knee. Go ahead and push through that back foot. Drive that right hip back, left hip forward. Support the head by that spine. Begin your breathing as you bend the elbows, or if you'd like to use the block, come down to the forearms. Just make sure that right ankle is lined up with that right knee. Each breath should be strong and powerful. Each time pulling that navel in towards the spine, completely empty. Take a big inhale now. Swing that back leg or that front leg to the back. Come down to your forearms. Interlock your fingers. Push through the feet. Elbows drive into the mat. Head supported by your spine as you begin your breathing in your plank. In this plank, we want 6 strong breaths. Keep on driving those elbows down. So the work is not in the shoulders, but in that core area. Again, remember your modification, your regression. But maintain that plank so that those core muscles can stay engaged. Beautiful. And these last couple of breaths, really work your strength. Allow that focus to go inward. In these stressful situations, we try to find that little bit of peace. Take a big exhale now. Come to the knees. Push yourself up into downward dog. You want 2 breaths here as you externally rotate your inner thighs. I'm going to walk the feet in now and zip them up. Roll yourself up, trying to find that balance. Take a moment here and breathe. I'm going to shift that weight into that left foot. In finding our balance, we now want to come to tree pose. Lifting up that right leg. This time, lifting those arms up into high mountain. Take that right leg and put it firmly either in the calf or above the knee. We never want to be on the knee joint, either above or below. For 6 breaths, we want to find balance here. So continually pull this leg in and this leg against that. So we have that tight triangle. Even if you waver a little bit, trees are always blowing back and forth. Now we use that mind power. Finding the balance. If we come out, go ahead and find your way back. Take that last exhale, bring those thumbs into your heart and the foot down into Tadasana. So go ahead and shift the weight into that right foot now. Flatten the toes, this will help you. Plant into the mat. Take a big inhale into high mountain. Take that left foot again, push it against that calf or the inner thigh, and then straighten that right leg and push against that foot. The tree posture then takes on a whole new meaning of stability, like a strong trunk, a strong center, still allowing a little bit of a sway. Use your mind power to find balance, knowing that balance comes from within. No matter what happens around you, you can always find your inner balance by focus, by strength. That big inhale, as you exhale, the thumbs come into the heart and come down into Tadasana. Pause here for a moment. Now we take a swan dive forward. We're going to bring your feet through into seated child's pose. We need our block. So bring the block close to you so that you can hold it, so that you can grab it. Take 2 breaths here. Acclimate to the mat. Take a big inhale and roll down vertebrae at a time. Make sure you're close to the front of the mat. Your body room to utilize the mat. Now we place our palms on either side of the thigh. Take a big inhale now and rise those hips up, squeezing the tailbone under. We're going to take our block now and put it right under the sacrum. As you put that block under the sacrum, you're going to feel a little bit of pressure. It's right below the navel, right under that sacrum. Flatten the palms into the mat. Flatten the shoulders into the mat. Wiggle around a little bit if you need to find that place. Take a big inhale and exhale. Gently pushing into the mat with both hands. Take a big inhale and we're going to lift that left knee towards the shoulder. We want 4 breaths here. Try to find a balance here. As you open up the shoulders, now we want to press our chin against the chest, lengthening through the neck. Continue with your 4 breaths. Take a long exhale. As you inhale now, we point that left toe towards the sky, lining up the ankle, knee, and hip. Begin your breathing. And as you breathe, open those shoulders more. Flatten the shoulders. Chin to the chest. Palms down. Each time you exhale, that navel comes all the way in, and that back of the rib cage pushes towards the navel. Take that long last exhale. As you inhale, we're going to bend that left knee again over the chest, just for 2 breaths here. And lower that left foot to the mat. Push into the mat gently with your palms as you take a big inhale, and now we lift that right knee towards the right shoulder. We want 4 breaths here. Again, continually open up the chest, open up the back, shoulder blades. Pull the shoulder blades away from each other and press that chin onto the chest. You should almost feel the back of your neck into the mat. Remember, connect the exhale to the inhale. Take that long exhale. As you inhale, that right toe goes up towards the sky, creating that straight line there, the ankle to the knee to the hip. After that second breath, we lift that left knee up to meet the right knee. Take a big inhale here, and then extend both feet up towards the sky in your supported shoulder stand. I want to take 4 or 6 breaths here. Again, chin against that chest. Take a big exhale now. As you inhale, we're going to take both knees over the chest, bending. Find this balance for 2 breaths. Pressing that chin to the chest. And now we bring that left foot to the mat and that right foot to the mat.
Take a big exhale here and inhale across the chest. As you exhale now, push into the mat, removing that block. Stay up on your shoulders now and slowly rolling down, vertebrae at a time, lengthening, placing a space in between each vertebrae. As the rib cage comes down, that navel, that sacrum comes down. And now those hips. Extend your feet outward, your palms to the sky. As we close our eyes in our final Shavasana. Pausing in Shavasana, we allow our body to completely relax. Our breathing comes back to normal, and our body goes into that release or heal state. We allow the body to drop back from the heart, leaving our heart open, vulnerable, so that we can find our peace deep within. We've searched throughout our practice today that special tranquility we keep within. In the stillness, there's balance, oneness with self, appreciation for your time, dedication in your practice today. And slowly now, we let our head go over to the right and over to the left. And we realize the ease in moving through the neck. We start to wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes, starting to wake up those nerve endings. Wake up our body, feeling different. Now as we reach our arms overhead, we realize not a whole lot of reaching. Right? Our spine is extended. Now we bring our knees into our chest, rocking side to side. Bringing our left arm overhead and rocking over to the side. Pausing there for a moment. Pause there for a moment. In this fetal position, spine already relaxed. And when you're ready, push into the mat with your right hand and come up sideways, that safe way. Cross your legs. Pause here for a moment as we allow the blood to go back to the brain. Carrying that tranquility, that appreciation. We take a big inhale, we reach up into high mountain, crossing those thumbs. As we bring those thumbs into our heart, we wish each other namaste. Namaste. Nice practice, everyone.